Alright. Hi everyone, it's Joe in Wolfhound Fitness. Thanks for tuning into the video. This is part 2 of our flexibility focus, a 5-part mini series to help you come out of lockdown safely as we start to get back on the field and back into the gym, back into higher volume training. We need to give our flexibility, mobility and our recovery an extra focus over these next couple of weeks to ensure that we don't break down, we don't increase our risk of injury as we start to see our volume training increase. Okay? Hopefully you've already seen the first video. If you haven't, it's no big deal. It doesn't matter what order you do these in. They're 10-minute little short videos that you can squeeze into any time of the day, morning or evening, ideal, after training, ideal, but quick 10 minutes if you've got it, get it in and you're going to benefit from it. Okay, we're going to need a band for this particular session. If you don't have a band, no problem. A belt or a tie or a towel will even do, a little hand towel. Okay, something roughly that long. Okay, like I said, a belt or a tie or something will do the job. So if you need to go get one, pause the video now, go and get it, and come back then and we'll jump in. All right, so hopefully you've got that now, whatever you're going to use. We are starting off kneeling down. Okay, like I said, pretty small upper body focus for this one. You're going to start off with your fingers facing forward here in this kneeling position. Okay, and we're going to do 5 circles clockwise and 5 anti-clockwise. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in the opposite direction for 5. So we're putting some movement into the shoulder joint here, creating some blood flow. Forearms and wrists are going to get stretched out here as well while we're at it. 5 in that direction. Now you're going to pause and you're going to go opposite side with your hands. So face your wrists forward now. Slightly more intense stretch now with the forearms. And again 5 clockwise. And 5 anti-clockwise. Trying to make those circles as big as you can. The arms are fully locked out. Bit of blood flow again into the wrists, elbows and shoulders here. Alright, and we're going to finish off with 5 more with our fingers facing each other. So back down, fingers right in the middle facing each other again. Your elbows should be fully locked out. And we're going for 5 clockwise. As big as you can. Okay, keeping your knees on the ground obviously. And 5 anti-clockwise. And that's a little bit tough on the wrist, so we just sit up, okay, bring them together, and I go 5 clockwise and anti-clockwise from here. Okay, so 5 one direction and 5 the other direction. Just loosen those out, a little bit uncomfortable position for them in that previous. Okay, we're going to go back down to the floor, just going to go sideways here. We're going to do 10 scapular press-ups. Again, further blood flow into the shoulder joint. Keeping your arms locked out, your back nice and flat. Okay, without any use of the arms, you're going to move down, feeling your shoulder blades come together, and up as far as you can. Feel those shoulder blades spread apart. And we're going to do 10 reps. Okay, so that's 2. I'm going to pause in each position for a second, trying to exaggerate it as much as possible. Okay, so trying to get as high as I can, feel those shoulder blades spread apart. Trying to get as low as I can without bending the elbow. Again, your elbows stay fully locked out throughout these. And again, just nice and steady, relaxed breathing throughout. You're doing 10. Okay, take your time finishing them off. I'm on about 7 here. Okay, and staying where you are for this last one in this position. We're going to rotate from the shoulder in that same position we were for the scapular press up. Okay, again, keeping your elbows fully locked out. So just do 1 or 2 here and then we'll do the 10 together. So in that kneeling position, watch the crease of my elbow. I'm going to scoop it forward as far as I can and hold. And then relax it and return to the start as far back as possible and hold. And we're going for 10. So we're rotating the shoulder joint to its extremities, okay, creating some blood flow. Getting a bit of a stretch, feeling that we can actually get further with each rep. So it's 10. Point those elbows out as far as possible and hold. Point them back in as far as possible as you can hold. I'm on 4, we're going for 10. So again, make sure that you hold in each position for a second. Clawing your fingers into the ground to make sure that your hands don't slide. We want our fingers facing forward as much as possible. You can see I have a little imbalance here. Surgery on this right shoulder a few years ago. My left side I can turn right in as far as I want. My right side doesn't quite go to the same angle. So if you feel one side is a little bit different to the other, don't panic. You'll gradually work that out. Okay, so we're going to sit down. Again, continuing with our blood flow into our shoulder joint and trying to work on the extremity of the rotation. Get into a nice comfortable seated position, okay? And from here, we're going to have our hands outstretched. We're going to lean to one side and rotate, and lean to the other side and rotate, okay? So as I rotate this side, I want to face my hand downwards as much as possible, and then upwards as much as possible, okay? And we're going to go for 20. So get nice and relaxed. We're starting off. The side you go, the hand faces up, hold it, and now change direction and change the rotation. So have a look at my hands as I lean to one side. That's 3 for me, and we're going for 20. And try and increase how much you're rotating as you go. So hand down as much as possible, hand up as much as possible, and allowing yourself to lean in the direction as you go. So everything around the shoulder joint getting nicely stretched as you rotate. Start to feel your shoulders get warm. We're creating a lot of blood flow, so you're going to feel them heating up. And just decent posture throughout here now. Okay, not allowing yourself to fold over. Try and keep your chest and chin up pretty well throughout. Get a decent bit of blood flow into the elbows. I can feel them start to heat up. Forearms are starting to cramp a little bit, okay, from staying extended, that's fine. Taking your time, finishing off your 20, that's going to be 10 each side. Maybe a bit of crunching going on your shoulders, that's nothing to worry about. And I'm just looking back at my rear hand as I go, so that I can see how far I'm rotating it. Okay, and relax. I'm gonna grab a drink. I'm actually starting to break a sweat here. That's a tough one. And get your band ready. Okay, we're going to hit those shoulders with a nice stretch now. All right, so on your mat, if you've got it, just for your knees. I like to do this with my feet flat so that I'm getting a double whammy. I'm stretching out my quads, my ankles here nicely as well. But if it's a bit uncomfortable, this might be a bit too intense on your knee or on your ankle, come up onto your toes, and doing it from here is going to be fine. So just make sure you're nice and comfortable. Okay, my knees are apart, pretty comfortable on my toes. And so if you can do it from here, all well and good, even better. We're going to use that band now to stretch out our chest and our shoulders. Okay, flick it across, throw your spare hand up behind. Okay, try and bring your fingers as close together as possible. You'll all recognize this stretch. Predominantly our chest, shoulders, but also our tricep here is getting stretched as well on the top arm. So now with a couple of deep breaths, let them out slow, get as relaxed as possible. And just aware that you're not overarching your back like this. Okay, you're not actually getting a true stretch. So if you need to bring your hands further apart so that you can keep this pretty decent posture. My ribs are down, my lower back is straight, my chest and chin are up. And I'm just going to allow myself to really relax and sink into this. We're going to hold it for about another 30 seconds. You're going to try and wiggle your fingers slightly closer together. And your top elbow shouldn't be pointing forward. No stretch here on this. Top elbow should be pointing pretty much up the ceiling. Just aware of that. Okay, just come out of that nice and easy. Flick it over, opposite side. Again, as close as you can get those hands. Wiggle them together on your band or whatever you're using. And now just correct your posture, get it nice and upright again. Take those couple of breaths, let them out slow. Really aware that you're not arching your back. Your front elbow again, not pointing forward, pointing up to the ceiling. Try and bring them a tiny bit closer together again now. Again, if shoulders are a focus for you, this is obviously a great one you can hold for a lot longer. Then I'm keeping these videos quite short so that people can squeeze them into their day quite easily, but there's no reason you couldn't double the length of all of these videos if you've got the time for them and you feel you want to give that a bit more focus. Just fingers slightly closer together once more. Okay, and we'll let that go nice and easy. Pop that away out the side. We're going to finish this one now just by hitting our lats. So for those of you a bit unsure, all this meat down the side of your back, basically between your ribs and your armpit. I'm just going to hit down here to finish off this part. So, down this in this kneeling position, you're going to put your hand facing up on the floor. You're going to push it away with the hand on the top, and you're going to turn your body to look over your shoulder, looking over the shoulder of the hand that's on top. So this underside is what we're stretching. I'm going to sit back onto my heels, turn and look up to the ceiling, and now allow myself to sink deeper into it, sitting back onto the heels, pushing away with the hands on top, and trying to turn to look up to the ceiling all the time. Hold this for roughly another 45 seconds. Again, the more you can turn your body to look over your shoulder, the better the stretch you're going to feel. The more you push away that wrist on top. All the while trying to force yourself to relax, okay? Especially around your neck and your shoulders. If you're holding your breath, you're going to get too uptight. We can come out of that nice and easy and just swap sides. So again, hand is facing up, pushing away with the hand that's on top. Sitting back and looking over the shoulder that's on top. Again, the underside is where it's getting hit. Starting to feel that now nicely. Again, turning, looking over that upside shoulder. Pushing away with the hand on top, sitting back onto the other heels. And this is going slightly into your tricep as well, the arm that's underneath. The back of the arm should be feeling a little bit as well. Come on, nice and easy. And we're going to finish off roughly about a minute with your thumbs, both thumbs facing up, about shoulder width apart. Sit right back onto your heels, let your forehead go to the ground. I'm not going to talk during this now, so you're going to copy me. I'm going to sit back, put my forehead down, push my hands as far away as I can. And now hold this, and we'll take about 5 deep breaths in this position. Then I'm reaching away with my hands. I'm sitting back onto my heels. Thumbs are facing up to the ceiling. And I'm allowing my forehead to sink right down into the ground as I breathe nice and deep. Alright, come out of it nice and easy. You might be a little bit lightheaded, just having been down there, so don't get up too quick. That's the end of part 2. Hope you've enjoyed it, okay, and found it useful. Like I said, there's no reason you can't double the lengths of these. If you're watching these videos and you want to pause them at times and maybe hold a stretch a bit longer, that's fine. I'm keeping them to 10 minutes. If you're like allowing yourself 10 minutes every day, working on slightly different areas, even every second day, that is loads, okay, to be getting done to help you improve your recovery and make progression, okay, in the long run. You don't necessarily have to be doing an hour every day. People won't be able to keep that up, which is why we're keeping these nice and short. Makes it really easy to squeeze them in, and if you get into a good habit, you're really going to feel the benefits. All right, thanks very much. Keep an eye out for part 3, and we will talk to you later on.